Hello girls, gays, and non-binary babes. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a video that I've been waiting to do for forever. I've been compiling this list of books for so long, you guys don't even understand. I cannot wait to talk about these. From the title, you can already see we're talking about books that are in the literary genre of good for her. If you're unfamiliar what the good for her category is, it is very similar to Gone Girl, Midsummer, Ready or Not, Jennifer's Body, that kind of thing, where a woman is doing terrible things, but are they that terrible? Kind of like morally gray women, which we love, and I'm here to talk about some in books. So grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's jump into it. The first book we have is the one that started it all, the OG, the classic, Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Is it Gillian Flynn? I never figured that out, and I read this years ago. Somebody please tell me in the comments, I would love to know. This book is about a man and his wife, and this man is being accused of murdering his wife because she has disappeared. Their house is like a wreck, but it's very clearly staged, and everything just looks fishy, and it looks like he killed her. Why is there hair in this book? Is this my hair? I sure hope so. This is the OG. If you haven't read it yet, you need to. It's really good. It's better than the movie. It's not like a wide margin better than the movie, but it is obviously still better than the movie. So if you like the movie and you haven't read the book yet, I highly recommend it. If you have read the book, congratulations, and now you can read the rest of these books on the list. So yeah. Next up, we have another kind of classic. I don't know if many people know that it would fall under this category. But yeah, we have Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King. So I first read this book a few years ago, and I freaking loved it. I love Dolores Claiborne as a character, and I love this story, and it's very, very good for her, and I don't think many people talk about that aspect. I vaguely remember the premise of this book, but basically one day Dolores Claiborne's husband Joe dies on the day of the total eclipse, and that happened 30 years prior. Now this takes place in present day, when the woman that employs Dolores ends up dying mysteriously. Not mysteriously, but she ends up dying, and it looks like it could have been an accident, but it also looks like it could have been a murder. It's very good. Highly recommend it if you like Stephen King, or you like thrillers, or the idea of a Stephen King book, then check it out. It's pretty good. And it's not really scary at all. It's just more of a thriller. Kind of same vein as Gone Girl. Next up, we have another one that I talk about all the time. So people who frequent my channel will already know what this book is gonna be. But it is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is a wonderful, wonderful book about it follows two points of view. One point of view is a girl going to this school, this university, and it follows her life and what happens to her, both the good and the bad things. The other point of view is a professor at this school, and she has decided to take it upon herself to get revenge on men who are doing awful things on campus. We know what those awful things are, but obviously trigger warnings for sexual assault and the likes. This is excellent, one of my favorite books of all time. Everybody needs to read it. It's dark academia, it's thriller, it's female revenge. what more do you want? What more do you want? That's all I have to say on this one. Freaking read it if you haven't already. It's wonderful. The next one we have is very similar to They Never Learn, but this is, I believe it's a YA, but it didn't really read YA. It's priced as a YA. So know that, but it didn't really read YA to me. So anyway, next we have Foul is Fair by Hannah Capin. This is actually a retelling of Macbeth, and I have this one all tapped up. It was my favorite book prior to They Never Learn, but still, you know, close second, whatever. This is about a girl who is, I believe, in high school, and she's assaulted by a group of men, and she wakes up and realizes, we're gonna get revenge on these men. We're gonna do some awful shit to them. And we love it. If you like Shakespeare, even if you haven't read Shakespeare, if you kind of know the idea of Macbeth or whatever, which most people do, you will like this. But if you have read Macbeth, you will love this. There's a lot of references to it, a lot of direct quotes, just used in a different context, and it's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, Foul is Fair, really good, definitely underrated. Next up, we have a book that I read pretty recently, and actually came out pretty recently, and that is Wafe by Samantha Klesnick. I realized recently that I've been saying her name wrong for like, I wouldn't say for so long, since I read her last book. This is a novel, well, novella, and this is about a woman who, is she married? Yes. She has a husband, a wonderful house, she's rich, she's got it all, baby, she's got it all. But she's not really attracted to her husband, and he is abusing her, and he's an awful person. So one day she's in the grocery store and she sees a man, and she's like, he's the man of my dreams. This is who I've been fantasizing about all these years. This man, I must make him mine. And eventually the husband finds out about this and is like, I'm gonna get plastic surgery to look like this man, and then my wife will love me again. And it sounds so weird, and it is. It's very weird. But it was so fascinating, like getting into the nitty-gritty of plastic surgery and attraction and desire. But also the second half of this book takes such a weird turn, and it turns in the direction of underground, I don't think I can say this word on YouTube, underground corn things, rings, is that a thing? And it gets really dark, but it's so interesting. It's just weird in a way that like tickles your brain, I think, and I loved it. It's wonderful. If you like weird stuff, then this is the book for you. Next, we have a pretty popular book lately, so you may have heard of it before, but that is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is an anti-romance, and I love saying that. This is an anti-romance, and it is a retelling of Dracula. It's a reimagining of Dracula, and it's told in letters, like Dracula is. We love a good ode to the original. It's told in letters, and it is told from the point of view of Dracula's original wife. Now, in this story, there's polyamory. So he ends up having, in the end, I don't know if they end up getting married, but essentially there's 2 girls and 2 guys in this group. And the main wife, the one he married first, is writing these letters, and from the very beginning we understand that she has killed him, and she's writing these letters to him after he has died. It's kind of like a therapeutic kind of thing. but it tells the story of him and the love that they had and just how dark a marriage romance can be. And it's just really like a toxic relationship, and I really love this book. I don't normally read romance, and I love this, so take my word for it. It's really good, and it's definitely, it's smutty, but like, it's not really a romance. It tells the story of their romance, but we already know that she killed this guy. So yeah. And finally, I want to talk about a book that I don't own, unfortunately, but I hope to soon. And that is Slew by Brom. First of all, can I just say the artwork in this book is fucking stunning. It's stunning. I loved it so much. That was one of my favorite parts of the book. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for what it's about. Slewfoot is about a woman who lives in a very puritanical, is that the word? Is that how you say that word? Puritanical village. It takes place 1600s, I think. And this village that she lives in is very, very religious. And she, like, basically all the women have to wear, like, you know, their little bonnets, and aren't really allowed to do things. But she is very strong-willed, and her husband is very, like, cool with that. And by cool with that, I mean, like he likes a strong-willed woman. He loves that, you know, she wants to do all these different things, and he lets her. But his brother is very, like, conservative and wants, the main character and her husband are living on her husband's dad's farm, and her husband's dad has died, but the brother technically owns the farm, and they just haven't paid him fully yet. They're like paying off the house. But eventually he comes one day and he's like, I hate your wife, she's a bitch, and you can't keep this house. Like, you haven't paid me fully for it yet, so you can't stay here anymore. And basically what happens is our main character turns to, like, witchcraft and magic, and it's really good, and I love it. So yeah, definitely check this one out if you like witchy books and kind of feminist books like that. It's so good, and I loved it, and I can't wait to get my own copy. So yeah. And that is it for my recommendations for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been waiting so long to make it, and I'm so glad I finally can. Hopefully at some point we'll get to do part 2, but for now, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you have any recommendations for me, put them below immediately. I am always looking for more books like this. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.